Here again with another Lucifer Season 5 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am every watching or watching Lucifer, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you found out that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for all of you out there that are wondering, this is indeed my first time watching the show Lucifer, so join me on the journey and let's discuss the show in the comment section, along with the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who is a Lucifer fanatic as well as a Dexter and Breaking Bad fan, but he loves Lucifer. I like Lucifer, and let's discuss it in the comments section. With all that said, this will be Lucifer Season 5, Episode 7. The title of this episode is called Our Mojo. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So, Lucifer wakes up next to Chloe, finally. Good morning, detective. Are you cold? Given that hell was supposed to froze over because Chloe said she wouldn't have sex with Lucifer until that happens. And Chloe's actually starving. Whatever you want is dandy. And Chloe asks Lucifer, what does he truly desire? And Lucifer actually is forced to answer that question. He wants to have sex with her another 6 times. And Chloe totally mojoed Lucifer there. So something happened where Chloe had the power to make Lucifer tell her tell her what he desired. And then Lucifer goes to see Linda Martin after this. He needs her help, and Linda's pumping breast milk right now. Wait, you guys had sex? Tiny hiccup. She can now expose people's desires. Lucifer wonders if every woman he's had sex with gets his mojo, and Linda's like, nope, because she tried to use that trick and it didn't work. And remember, in Season 1, to start off, Lucifer and Linda Martin went at it a few times. Just because Chloe can mojo people doesn't mean you have to stop. And then it's crime scene time. Ella asks Chloe about her and Lucifer finally getting over your issues and under the covers for the no pants dance. And then Chloe's like, we sure did. And Ella says, I'm so sorry, Decker. Wait, I'm sorry, rewind. Did you just say yes? Uh-huh. OMG. Ella is so happy it finally happened. So am I. Jesus Christ, you really prolonged that for over 5 seasons? It's one bummer after another with you two, Ella says. And Ella might have a thing hinting to her and Pete getting it on. Good morning, Miss Lopez. Good morning, detective. Good morning again, Lucifer. Dan, the douche, called in sick, Ella mentions, and Diane Luna is dead. Ella thinks she was injected with some paralytic agent, and she thinks she was choking on her own blood. Diane's neighbor, Norman, found the victim. He was my first thought of the killer. Of course, he's not, but that was my first thought. And Norman desires... That's a weird thing to ask, he says. Detective, I think you stole my mojo. And then Norman was busy gaming when the murder happened, so he says, is what I thought. And then Chloe asks Lucifer what he desires again. He wants his mojo back. We have something good going on. Enjoy it for a minute. Amenadiel is entertaining Charlie, and then Mace stops by. And Mace tells Amenadiel that she had 2 rocks growing up. That's what she had for toys. And Charlie has all these random toys. And Amenadiel is upset. Dan ditched him for... and he... I don't know if they were supposed to go the Dodger game or Dan ditched him for the Dodger game. But I do believe that they were supposed to go to the Dodger game. And he can't even remember how he spent his time before Charlie. Pete stops by the precinct. He tells Ella he scored 2 VIP tickets to a Star Trek convention. And Ella starts speaking Klingon to Pete, which he, of course, reciprocates to her. And then Chloe mentions to Lucifer, sharing's not that hard. And Chloe and Lucifer then go to see Mario Kanellis, Diane's vocal coach. And Mario desires to tell Chloe everything that she wants to know. And then Mario also mentions an opera singer named Niels. And Dan goes to visit Charlotte Richards' grave. And of course, Dan is upset that he doesn't think he'll be joining Charlotte in heaven. He needs help. He needs guidance. He needs a sign. And then we have Michael showing up, telling Dan that he's the Archangel Michael. He's told there is a way for him to right all of his wrongs. And then Chloe says Mario's alibi has checked out. She also mentions that when returning to Lucifer's penthouse. And Lucifer wants to have sex again, thinking that his mojo works like an STD, but wouldn't it stay with everybody instead of swapping from different person to different person? Then we have couples therapy for Lucifer and Chloe with Dr. Linda Martin. And Chloe says Lucifer is being ridiculous. Maze wants to introduce Amenadiel to his old self as they go at it at Lux. Maze calls Amenadiel a lame-ass baby daddy, and they're just going at it to try to appease each other. And then Amenadiel and Maze start kissing. Oh boy. Maze says this isn't working. She wasn't talking about Amenadiel. She says this isn't working for me. So Maze did this actually for herself when we thought she was doing it for Amenadiel, because at one point we thought Maze cared about Amenadiel, and she does, but not to that degree anymore. Chloe and Lucifer go to see Niels. They know that Diane was gathering evidence against him. He says he has no reason to want Diane dead, and he desires to be over with, or this to be over with, so he can go back to his photo shoot. So he's a very eclectic person. And then he's asked, what do you truly desire? Is she having a stroke? Lucifer asks the question, is this the way you people solve crimes? Turns out Mario is a fan of Hot Tub High School, or whatever the thing that Chloe did to show her, And that's why he says whatever you want when she asked him what he truly desires. We have a woman tied up in a chair in a kitchen. She's been given flowers, just like our initial victim, and is now dead. Ella, Chloe, and Lucifer are on the scene. Cause of death, this killer's MO is extremely unique. It's a serial killer this time instead of just a random person every episode. And Lucifer says he wants to take away their power. That's what he wants to do, is take away the people's power, that he's the victims. And Ella is getting more optimistic since talking with and hanging out with Pete. Chloe and Lucifer go to a flower shop, and Chloe calls Lucifer her very own Swiss Army knife. And then Chloe notices that the flowers there at this flower shop are being wrapped in like a glitter band, and they know that the suspect that came in at a certain time took an Uber. Did this killer have a conversation like, oh, my Uber's on the way to pick me up now, or my Uber dropped me off? Who knows how they knew that he took an Uber, but unless the car that he came in had like a blinking sign that says Uber, which they do, but they're really small signs, usually in the windshield. So as somebody that Ubers a lot, I know that. But anyway, Maze says she's doomed to be alone forever. That's very unfortunate, and Maze thought rejecting Amenadiel was a mistake, and Amenadiel gives Maze some comforting words. And then we have Les Klumsky is our killer, and he's targeted his next victim. He's bought flowers, so they don't have much time. Ella and Pete are in their Star Trek uniforms, are on the scene, and Ella figures out that the victim lives in the same apartment as Les. And now Les gets Lucifer with his with his needle, a la Dexter style. I wonder it was M99, or maybe it was ketamine. And then Lucifer, after a minute, finally drops, which was pretty impressive. Usually people drop right away, Les says. And then Chloe finds Lucifer. He can't really speak. His mouth can move, but he can't talk at the moment. his vocals are messed up, and she's able to shoot Les, and then we got him. And then Les has admitted to all 4 murders. Apparently there was some ones from before as well. And then Pete's going to have to write about this serial killer. And Pete says Ella really likes you to Lucifer, and he wants to know if he did anything wrong. Because he thinks Lucifer is mad at him for some reason. And Lucifer says you're doing everything right when it comes to Miss Lopez. And then Linda says fingers crossed Charlie sleeps through the night. Amenadiel tells Linda about the May stuff that happened today, how they kissed, and Linda tells him he's got the caretaker stuff down. And then Linda she actually gets to have some fun and leaves, and then Chloe is at Lucifer's penthouse looking over files from the case, and then Chloe tells Lucifer she forgets how strong he is due to the fact that he's vulnerable around her. And then Chloe says Lucifer losing his mojo might be a good thing. He's like, taking the walls down and the barriers down. And then Chloe kisses Lucifer and says she's going to go freshen up and she'll be right back. And then while this is happening, we have Dan, the douche, the resident douche of this show up. And Dan pulls his gun out on Lucifer. And Chloe, comes back and she's like, Dan, what are you doing? And then Dan says, sorry, I have to. And then Dan shoots Lucifer with Chloe there, and Lucifer goes down because you know that Lucifer is vulnerable whenever Chloe Decker is around. And that's what ends the episode. So goddamn cliffhangers. Oh, this was a lot of fun. I like the whole different, not just some random stupid killer in the episode. This was a serial killer, so I didn't guess it. So I'm going to score the episode a 7. No, that's not right. An 8.7 out of 10. And then for my characters of the episode, you can give it to Lucifer and Chloe. You can give that to them every episode. You could consider Linda. You could consider Amenadiel. You could consider Maze. Maze probably has the most consideration other than Lucifer and Chloe. But I'm going to give the characters of the episode to Ella Lopez and Pete. Now, Pete scares me a bit. I feel like he's going to end up being a serial killer at some point, which I do not know what his status is for the rest of the show, how long he lasts. But I get that vibe that he's hiding something. Kind of like when Amy Garcia, who was Jamie in Dexter, was with the guy from season 6 and early in season 7 of Dexter, when he turned out to be, not a killer, but he's got ulterior motives. And at the moment, I can't recall that guy's name. That's very depressing because I used to know Dexter like the back of my hand, but oh well, it is what it is. He wanted Dexter to look at this game that he created, and Dexter kind of got nutted. So anyway, you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lucifer and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button, and keep in mind and keep in consideration that Lucifer is not the only thing I talk about on this channel. I created this channel because I didn't have enough people to talk about the things that I want to talk about. So I have a plethora of stuff that I talk about or react to, like UFC fights, Dexter stuff, Walking Dead stuff, Shameless, Breaking Bad, Big Bang Theory, Lucifer, Cobra Kai, Stranger Things. So I cover a lot of shit on this channel. Just keep that in mind, and if you're interested in other stuff, you might want to go to my playlist on my tab page and just kind of check the random stuff that I have out on this channel. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Lucifer. Let's talk about it along with the legendary Crazy Coffee Man. What would you rate the episode, and whom would be your characters of the episode? And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You are watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.